Welcome back to the latest release of the Conquest Simulator. This is version 1.5. So, let me just showcase some of the new features. So first you'll see is we have groupings of different presets now, so you can organize all of those. I'll just select anti-rush, and let's do regen. The second thing you're going to notice is the automatic scroll feature. Also, this little end at the top, there's also a file menu. Now, lots of these are inoperable, such as edit unit. It just gives you this message. So you can't do anything with edit. You can't do anything with textures. And it does not tell you how to play. But let's see, we have this little about message. We have disabled the auto scroll feature, so I'll leave that on. It's very handy. We have the edit undo button in the edit menu, and we also have a file menu for handling files. So let's play a few moves and I can show you how the edit menu works. So edit undo works the same way as the undo button did before. So you can hit undo and it will undo your move. Now if I hit end turn and then I do undo, I can actually go and redo a move. So this will be handy when you are going through files. And we also have what I would call branches. And let me show you what I mean when I say branch. So the notation is a bit different this time. Instead of each move being on a new line, each move is preceded by a vertical bar. So before I played the scout up and took this other scout, but let's say I make a different move now. Let's say I just move a different scout up and hit end turn. Now we're going to have two different branches of moves. Now these two branches are going to be encapsulated by parentheses. And currently we are on the second branch. So if we hit edit undo and then we redo the move, it's going to stay at the second branch. What if we want to go back to the first branch? Well, if we want to go down a branch, we hit edit branch minus minus. This goes down a branch. And then when we play redo, it will play that move where we took the scout. There are also keyboard shortcuts for all of these except reset. So you can hold Alt and hit left if you want to undo a move. So Alt left. You'll see I didn't click anything and it redid the move. And you can do that for undo, redo, and the branch navigation. Now there's also delete branch. So let's say we want to delete this branch where we took the scout out of this notation. First we have to select the branch. We're already at this branch, so we don't need to click either of these. And then we just hit edit, delete branch. And it deletes it, and it will also swap it to this other branch. So when we hit redo, it'll play this move again. Now let's say we want to undo and delete a branch. We can do undo and delete. So it will undo the move and delete it from the notation. The shortcuts for these are Alt Delete for deleting a branch, and undo and delete is Alt Backspace. Now there's also a file menu. So if we hit File New, it's just going to start a new game. Oops. File Open is going to open one of your saved games. File Save is going to save one, and Exit will just close it completely. It's the same as hitting the X. So let's say we want to save. We hit Save. It'll probably start in your Documents folder. So I have a little folder here called Conquest Games, and it will save the notation to anything you want. So if you want to name it, test.txt, you can save it there, and it will put all your notation in there. I already have a game I saved earlier. It's just a tiny little game. It's called test.txt. So if we do File Open, we can go to test.txt, and then we can hit Open, and you'll see what I've recorded earlier. So let's play through some of the moves. I only have about 2 or 3, so 1, 2, and 3. So 2 scout moves and take scout, and there are no moves after that, so redo isn't going to do anything. So we can reset it. If you try to undo after a reset, it won't do anything. But one thing I will say about undo is if you have a lot of moves that you played and you hit undo, it might take a second or 2 before it plays through all the moves again. So just don't think it went and froze on you. And those are really all of the new features. So we just got this menu up here. We've got some file handling. We got branches and some more advanced analysis tools, I guess you could call them. And a different kind of notation. So, as I showed you before, we have a different little grouping menu. So how do we make a group for our different sets? So we're going to need our notepad file again. So first we need some braces. Now groups are separated by a vertical bar. So let's say we want 3 groups. We only need 2 bars to separate the 3 groups. All groups start with a group name. So you might have anti-rush as one group name. You might have rush as another group name. And we can just call this one other. And inside of here is where you're going to put all your sets. So for example, this is the one I use for all of my sets. So you'll see the name is anti-rush, and we have anti-rush 1 right here. And then we have anti-rush foot spam. And if we scroll down through here, we can see some more. Anti with shield wall. Anti with shield wall 2. And then we just have another one that I made. We also have rush. That's the only one in this group. You'll see it separated by the vertical bars. And we have our regen, winds, and bomb variants all in here. And I have vigilance. But another thing I allow you to change is these window sizes that you see here. So one bug you'll find is if you make this too small, then you don't see any of the sets at all. So it has to be large enough to fit this. So to complement this, I have some other options you can set only in the file. So you can set disabling auto scroll by default if you want. These are all of the default values. So if you delete them all, then nothing will change. But let me go through actually, let me just kill this here. Let me go through the different kind of frames. So this is the options frame. So this is 500 by 500. This is the preset frame. This might be the one you're concerned with. If your screen is too short, you might want to make the frame height larger, or if it's not wide enough, you can make the frame width longer. And I have these backwards, don't I? Yeah. Well, there's also the scroll pane width and the scroll pane height. The scroll pane is this box you see here. So if you cut this in half, then the box is only going to be half the size, so you don't have to have the window as large. Now there's also create set frame. This is the create set frame. You can make this smaller if you wish, and it'll have these scroll bars if it's not large enough. And I have to put something in there. And finally, this is the game frame. Although it starts out full screen, this is just if you have it not maximized. So this is 1300 by 700. I will leave this file in the description for you guys so you can copy it for when you need to edit some of these, because I don't expect you to just memorize all of these names right away. But with this new simulator, I will be analyzing a few different vigilance sets. So here's the first set for vigilance. You can see I have hold on a second. I have vigilance instead of stoicism, and you could possibly even replace this for shield wall, but I'm analyzing vigilance. Here's another vigilance set I made. It's got 3 halberds instead of 2 foot soldiers. Here's one with a knight. Here's one with 2 knights. I might even analyze this with vigilance and shield wall. And finally, there's going to be vigilance, but without chastise. So look for those videos in the future. And that'll do it for now, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.